Sorry, brother.
We loved you, Dale.
That's right.
That's right.
Yes.
Hello, everyone, and
Oh,
welcome
good
back. We're back again. Storm here.
Mom here.
Kimmy here.
So
Poor
we're on
Dale.
episode 12 of season 2 of The
yes,
Walking
yeah.
Dead. It was a tragic episode last
Yes.
time. Dale died in such a horrible way.
That
The
was
Walker got him.
terrible.
That's horrible.
Ripped his stomach wide open.
They're really strong too. I
Yes.
mean, for
That's
being like
horrible.
decayed and muscles decayed, like they can
Slow
really,
at times.
yeah, they're pretty powerful. And
Sure. Yeah.
and Dale, like he was always there for the group, and he always, even though he
Always.
was kind of annoying in that way, he was good because he really wanted to
He had
bring
good-
people
That's
together
right.
and
Yes.
understand.
He had
like,
nothing
be
but the
humane.
best intentions.
That's
Yeah.
what I did, yeah.
So,
Oh, jeez.
and they were all upset on how he died because he was still part of the group. Many did care for him, but even Shane, you know, not that he cared for
Yes.
Dale, but you could see in everyone's face that they were so upset
Yeah.
that that just happened.
Oh, hands
sure.
down.
Rick was so
yes.
upset, and he's like, "Come on, you have to do
Wow.
something, Herschel." And he's like, "There's nothing you can do." Like that was just so
Yes,
heartbreaking.
and that was so
That's
true.
yeah.
There was nothing. There's you can't do
That's
anything
right.
for a person like that.
And Dale just looking at the gun, or just looking at Daryl and leaning his head into
Yes.
his gun.
That's
'cause
right.
he
Dale
knows
how to
he
deal
has
with
to
it.
do
Showed
it.
him.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
boy.
say if he even survived that and Herschel could perform surgery, like, again, we don't know what if the scratching does anything, and it actually opened him
Right,
up.
because
so
we
it's
had
technically like
thoughts
a
of
super
that.
scratch.
Okay,
Yes,
yeah,
we had
that's-
thoughts of you getting contaminated by the scratches. So
Oh,
yeah,
God.
getting ripped
Most
open
likely
like
it
that,
would, yeah.
we need to
Especially
put
that.
you down.
So what's going to happen in
kill
this
ya.
episode?
Well, I'm very curious to see if Carl's going to confess that about the walker in the first place,
yeah.
about the
Yeah.
gun that he took. I'm just because he's so worried about his mom and dad not knowing anything. I'd be curious to see if he says anything. If he gets like, this is holy crap. If I had just told him about that one rogue walker,
That's right.
they
yeah.
might have went to go pursue and get the gun and take down the walker, and Dale would be alive right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder how, what
I
his
hope he
thought
tells him. I
process,
hope
what
he
he's going to
tells him.
do
I just hope he does.
from now on. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
He's just a kid.
I know, it's hard. I mean, every situation, you're in a different world now, and, but I think it's important to communicate for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, and if he
definitely,
keeps it to
should.
himself, hopefully internally he takes it in and just realizes what his mistakes were, and to either be with somebody or just tell them what you saw or what you really what you did. Come on, you're not going to get in trouble in this world. Tell the right people. Please tell somebody.
I mean,
yes,
And even just the guilt behind it all, because it was the same walker he was messing with, and if he
Yes.
said
Right, definitely.
something, they could have done away with the
Right.
walker.
That's right.
They could have went in
Dale
there,
would've been
got the
fine,
gun, got
most
the
likely.
walker,
That's right.
and Dale would be
right.
alive.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
even
that's
him
huge.
going into the barn to see the prisoner, and to, at first just by himself, and letting the guy talk to him, and, he was just really very, very curious this
It definitely
last
is.
episode.
So it's kind of disturbing to see that too.
Mm-hmm.
But he's trying to be part of the group, and he's just so curious.
He is, and he
That's
wants
for
to
sure, yeah.
observe, and he wants to just, try to, really understand the walkers, understand a prisoner. He just really is very inquisitive about that. He just doesn't want to be just a kid on the side, just, on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He almost
Different
got hit by a
times.
walker, though. He almost got nabbed, so.
Yeah.
Came too close.
Mm-hmm.
So shall we get into this episode?
Yes, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. 2:12.
Dale could get under your skin because he wasn't afraid to say exactly what he thought. Whenever I'd make a decision, I'd look at Dale. I couldn't always read him, but he could read us. The best way to honor him is to unbreak it. Set aside our differences and pull together.
Fork you.
Take out all your anger.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the swamp hardening, the creek drying up,
With 50 head of cattle on the property, we might as well be ringing a damn dinner bell.
we should have moved you in a while ago.
Shane will assign shifts while me and Darryl take Randall off site and cut him loose.
Way outside.
that now. Want to take Darryl as your wingman? Be my guest. Thank you. You got it. Now he's turning over a new leaf.
He's like, really?
Awkward.
I need to make sure every time I leave the farm, all hell doesn't break loose.
Then maybe you should stop leaving.
If I tell you something, will you promise not to tell my parents?
Good, he's gonna tell
It's
someone.
probably a bad idea for both of us, but
Took it from Daryl's motorcycle.
Oh, good, he's got it.
If he found out I took it, he'd kill me.
you need to hold on to this. As long as I'm around you, nothing's gonna happen to you, Carl. But I can't keep my eyes
I
on
don't
you
know about that
24/7.
part.
Only you
I
can.
should know that.
I know.
Carl.
At least he told somebody.
That's right.
He's getting free.
Oh, yes, he is.
Oh,
He's
my
oh
God.
God. Boys over there. Girls.
You can put your stuff upstairs in my room.
Your dad in the house?
You can put that in my room. You'll be more comfortable there.
We can't do that.
Look, if you two can't decide, I'll take it.
Just do it all myself.
Yeah, you always do. It's like that time you showed up Rick fixing our sink. Please come down. I thought we'll figure this out. You know, we'll heal somehow. I don't even know whose baby this is.
Fine.
I can't imagine how hard that is on you. And I'm sitting in your car thinking, we're gonna be all right. And I never thanked you for that.
You don't need to thank me for that.
Of course I do. Of course I do. Please believe me, I am so sorry.
He's like, damn women confuse the hell out of me.
I know, he's so
Oh, my God, my God. It's more confused.
I'll take a piss.
In other words, I'm getting the hell out of here.
Yeah.
I'm getting out of Dodge.
Yeah.
Carl, I think he wants to talk to his father. Why I need this Randall thing done already. Man, that needs to wait, okay? Freeing that prisoner. More important to you than Carl.
You gotta tap it 3 times.
And give her a twist. I know.
If only Dale was here.
Good old Dale.
Yeah. You learned some things from Dale, huh?
Yeah, sure did.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that he knew how much we cared for him.
There.
Good job.
Dale would be proud.
People are gonna die. There's no way you can ever be ready for it.
This is the safety.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how scary that is with a blindfold on?
Yeah, that's
Hearing
right.
the footsteps.
Couldn't imagine.
Oh, my gosh.
He's gonna let him go and then shoot him. Oh, he tried to
Only
go
got so
away.
many arrows.
Oh, I don't know what's going to happen now.
Governor called. You're off the hook.
Won't do nothing stupid. Hey, keep it quiet. I ain't the only shot of you getting out of these woods alive, you hear me? So you gonna take me too? Why? Because, man, I'm done with this group, man.
You're fitting good.
He's trying. Maybe he gets just information on
Yeah,
it.
I think so. I don't think he's going to do that with him.
Just far enough so they can't hear the
Run my
gunshot.
mouth when I get...
Oh,
He just killed him.
what's he do?
Making it look like he got in a fight with him. He's so smart.
Oh, boy.
Got his way. Okay, now you act. Stick to your story.
Yeah, you see her from the outside. Looks like someone opened the door.
Was to cut him loose far away from here, not in our front step
Not
with a
right
gun.
here with a
Don't go
gun.
out there, you'll know
Get everybody back in the house.
Carol just wants
Lock all
everyone
the
safe.
doors. Hey, look, there ain't no use in tracking him, okay? He went that way.
He's a good tracker. He's
Yeah,
gonna
he's gonna
find.
be able
Chase
to.
him down. That's it.
Kid weighs $125 soaking wet.
Oh, it got dark. It's getting dusk quick. I dive. Daryl finds the gun hidden under the leaves.
Looks like it's busted pretty bad.
Imagine in the dark.
I know.
Oh, boy, I guess so.
I'm just waiting for a walker to come.
Be like, don't leave me
I don't know.
down.
Daryl's gonna find something.
There's blood on this tree.
Oh, see,
There
you
it
did. You were
is.
right.
Why would he take it off now? Who is it? A walker? Boink. Is that him? Is that the guy? Is that Randall?
Nice.
Good job.
Yeah.
Don't you have to be alive for them to bite you and
Don't wish
you
he
turn?
killed me when I found his sorry ass.
Got his neck broke.
Okay.
So, yeah.
He's got no bites.
No bites? No scratches?
No, nothing.
Alright, I'm confused.
Me too.
Said door was shut when T-Dog rolled up. Must have slipped through the rafters in the roof.
Just pretend like nothing's going on and go home.
At least have the balls to call this what it is. Murder. Lori and Carl, they'll get over you.
Are you
Oh my
flipping
God,
kidding
you are-
me? That's what it was. She
Why?
gave him fuel.
Screw my wife, have my children call you daddy. Is that what you want? You got no idea what I can live with, what I live with. You want to talk about what I can do, Rick? How about what you can do? Here I am. I'm a better father than you, Rick.
Oh, you son
I'm
of a
better
bee.
for Lori than you, man.
Oh, see,
I'm a better
it's all
man
coming out.
than you,
Oh,
Rick, 'cause I
see?
can be You got a weak boy. You ain't got the first clue on how to fix it.
You do.
Nice and easy.
The other guys are gonna see this. They're gonna see the silhouettes. They're gonna know. Oh, this is. I hate this.
Now listen to me, Shane. There is still a way back from this. Back to Lori. Back to Carl.
Thanks. I'll take
Oh,
that
here,
and shoot you.
Oh,
Oh. Did he get him?
This was you, not me!
I killed him to do this.
jeez.
Oh, poor Rick.
Oh, God.
Oh, how horrific.
Oh,
Boy, what a moment, huh?
God.
Oh, he doesn't want them devouring his friend.
Dad?
Carl's out.
See, I
Not
have
to your daddy.
No.
Holy shit.
Oh, my God.
Now, wait a
Right?
second. He just turned into a walker like that?
Yeah, but he's going to shoot Shane. Yeah, he saw
Okay.
Shane behind him.
Shot.
Okay,
Yeah.
excellent shot. Look at them
That's
all.
fast. Oh, my God.
Here they come.
Yeah, my God, what the heck? Oh, this
Don't
is
just
really
wait.
creepy.
What are you going to do?
Oh, my God.
I mean, Carl's a good shot, but.
Whoa.
Holy crap.
How could it be a walker, though? You see, might
Same
be
with
trained.
Randall. Randall was the same way.
Oh, the music. It's like scary but beautiful
Yeah.
and sad at the same time.
I know.
Wow.
Oh,
I-
jeez, wow.
Part of me really feels bad for Shane.
Yeah, it is,
I really
yeah.
do feel bad. It's almost as if Lori, she truly felt that she had to talk to him and tell him what's on her mind, but it was like fuel for him
No,
to
definitely.
have hope that he's going to be with them. Maybe it was her own way of trying to get this friction between him and Rick, And I mean, not so much with Randall, taking off, and then them just happen to be together, and then they have this, conversation and argument, and Shane wants to kill him. But it was a perfect storm. It happened perfectly. She wanted Rick to kill Shane, eliminate the threat, and it happened.
Oh yeah, it's really.
This episode, I mean, it's been a long time
Wow,
since I've seen
yeah.
it, and my stomach was still in knots, and it was almost like I was watching it for the first time. I would have been freaking out a lot more, of course, but the feeling was still there. Like I had my gut twisted, and I just felt so sick to my stomach. And I think just being here experiencing it with you guys for the first time, because they don't know anything about the show besides what we've seen on the channel so far up to this point. And I live in the moment too, so even though I know things that happen later, I just stay in the now and don't hint or foreshadow anything.
Sure.
So, but yeah, like I really felt it, and I do feel bad for Shane too, because I think he was unraveling a lot. I mean, he's like, oh my God, the acting in this was just so great. It's always so good.
My gosh,
Wonderful actor.
And once he starts like slapping himself, his mouth's always open with the crazy eyed look.
Oh yeah, he has to psych himself out. He's got to psych himself up to do it. To get Randall out and think of a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Sure
and with Lori talking to him, I thought that was a very interesting scene, because where do her feelings lie too? Because like, is she just saying it out of guilt? I mean, like you said, Kim, I feel like maybe she said it and didn't mean to, but instigated him, like thinking, oh, maybe there is a possibility with us again.
Well, it's definitely true that the baby could be.
Neither.
It could be Shane's.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've had sex. It was recent. I mean, it hasn't been too long, so it could be either or. And his eyes just lit right up. Like he just turned and he just was like, thank you. I really needed that.
Yeah,
like,
so
how can you just slam the door on my face? We did have something. Whether you say we didn't or not, we did.
Which was unfair on his end,
Yes. It was. And Carl did go to Shane for a lot of things. I mean, to him, it was like an uncle. Mm-hmm. He didn't know what was going on between him and his mom. So, I mean, that's his dad's best friend in Carl's eyes. So, and he doesn't want to get in trouble with his parents. So, like, he's the cool uncle. I mean, what kid wouldn't go to that? So,
that's for sure.
And he really cared for Carl,
Yes. And he just, between Carl coming to him to tell him about the walker and the gun and Dale, and then Lori telling him, her feelings. Of course, that gave him, reason for hope. Yeah. And you know what? If I eliminate Randall, then we'll all be safe, and then, this will be great. And I'm sure this wasn't planned for him to do this with Rick, but it just was, timing was perfect. He was just mentally in the zone that he wanted to eliminate Rick.
Yeah, I mean, that was so sad. I mean, did you kind of, like, when did you guys know, like, when did you know, Mom, when he was going to turn on Rick? Was it not until the field, or while they were walking in the woods initially, or? I mean, there's a lot of dark, creepy scenes.
I think walking in the woods too,
Yeah, once they started staring at each other.
Yeah, I think Rick kind of, I think Rick in the woods, when he was behind Shane, he was kind of like, I really don't think this story is true, that, what happened. That's what I was saying, I think then Shane, when he looked back, he was like, I think he's on to me.
And I thought, as tragic as that scene was, I mean, I don't want to say it was beautiful, what's the right word for it, but, with Rick being in front of Shane out in the open in this field, and Rick already was assuming at that point that this is where you plan to do it, like he said to Shane. So him actually giving him the leeway of being ahead of him and not looking back, so it gives him the chance to kill him in the back, shoot him in the back, and he's trying to talk him through it still. Like, I thought, like, that shows that it's true Rick, with how he tries to be open and work things out with people.
That's right,
and to show, like, I'm the victim here, and trying to talk to him. So instead of, like, knocking him out beforehand, he really tried to talk to Shane once the situation took place. Like, this was it. This is how he saw it coming to fruition. And will he be able to go through with it kind of thing. So to be able to talk to him while he was like, well, you're going to shoot an armless man, or armless, right? Yeah. You're going to shoot a guy without a weapon. And, that's not, what are you going to do about it? So it was a very tragic scene to see that. And we saw Shane really fight. Like, he was struggling a little bit, but his, like, insanity was taking over, where he made his decision and he was going to do it.
It has to be. It has to be.
That's right, yeah.
And when he insulted Rick and said, your wife is broken, and your son comes to me, he's more of my son than your son, and that
really got to him.
Yeah, your son's weak too, and he's just really trying to hurt his feelings so much that this is what I've been dealing with. You guys just threw me aside, and, this didn't happen, and, whatever happened between you and Lori, that was nothing, and that was just his revenge. He just felt so good saying that to Rick. And
yeah, and I think it was also him convincing himself this is why he has to do it, because you screwed up your wife. Not screwed his wife, but you screwed up your wife, because this is why she's like the way she is. And Carl's weak because of you, and I can fix that. And even with the subtle conversation they had earlier when they were joking around, Lori and him, and talking about, like, oh, remember when you had to fix our sink or something with the pipes? And then he's like, and it wasn't my fault that your basement flooded because Rick wanted to use, like, rubber washers and metal piping or something. And that was, like, a subtle foreshadowing kind of how he thinks, or just how he thinks, like a parallel thing of how he thinks about Rick, because he tries other ways. Not that he tries to take shortcuts, so it's not exactly the same, but he messes things up. Like, it's always a worse problem.
Right, and I had to go and fix it.
Do something else when he's not strong enough to, or like a professional in that field kind of thing, to fix that properly. When Shane is.
Yeah, and even going into the house, that was huge. That Herschel opened his door, and there's going to be 14 people in there now. He let the whole group in there. It's a whole new ball game. He's realizing how serious this is now. It's coming. It's inevitable, and it is. And Shane was totally cool with the plan. He was quiet until the Randall deal came down. And then he's like, oh, this is what we're going to do, huh?
And I'm curious how you feel about that. I know we discussed it a lot the last few episodes, but with Randall now, with them trying to honor Dale and Rick saying, this is my decision, he's being the leader now, and he's like, we're going to set him free a few miles out or whatever. Like, how do you feel about that?
I think Rick is right to set him free, away from the farm and all. So
I don't know about that. I mean, he still knows Maggie. He knows where the farm is. I have a hard time thinking that Randall's not going to do anything, with his group.
That's true.
Shane knew, kind of got out of him, where they were 5 miles out. That's not too far. So, but he doesn't. Now no one knows where they are.
And who knows if he was even telling the truth?
Right. Because all he does is just, diarrhea of the mouth. He doesn't know when to shut up. So, who knows when that group's going to come up.
Yeah. And again, it comes down to they don't know anything about Randall. I mean, we have our suspicions he was probably a bad person with the story he was telling and with the group beforehand, like talking about Nebraska, joking in the bar, and then ready to kill Rick right away. I would have my bad assumptions that he's evil. And I it's a different world too. I wouldn't want to risk my family, and that's really savage, and it's not a Dale way, but I would be like, you have to get rid of him. Not that, you should judge everyone like that, but this is a very odd situation they're in. And he, his friends that he was with, like, he told that really creepy, like, rapist story to freaking Daryl. And that was like a red flag to me. And just how his friends were before with Rick Glenn and Herschel in the bar, I wouldn't trust it, because then you have your whole family vulnerable because you're sitting ducks. Like, you have no big fences or anything. You have small fences for your cattle and stuff, but it's just a big open area with a bunch of forest around you, a bunch of trees. So I don't know. I wouldn't trust it. I would think he would come back.
Absolutely. I think he will. And I'm on the line with Shane on that point, but to have it, him take it in his own hands and to do it under that scrutiny. I mean, they know about Otis now, pretty much. They know what happened, you know, when he went to the school. So, I mean, that story was just not going to be believable with Shane coming back and saying, oh, you know. And he did so many missteps too. You know, the door was locked.
I know. Like,
if the kid took off, oh, let me lock this door and make believe I'm still in there.
Did you see how defeated Rick looked when he asked him about that? Like, oh, I wonder how he escaped with the door locked or something. He's like, oh, he probably escaped from the roof or something. And then he went, and like,
he's like, nope, I
so
know you did
like,
it.
I know you're just full on lying to me about this.
Yeah. And I'm glad that Daryl was separated from Shane, because I think that would have been a thing if Daryl was, you know, tracking. He's such a good tracker.
And he kind of dark too.
He was kick-ass.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you know, they were walking in tandem, and they saw the blood on the trunk, on the tree. And I think if he was with Shane, I think that would have been friction anyway, because, you know, Daryl is his wingman now, is Rick's wingman, and I think that really bruised Shane's ego too, where he was like, oh, you know, you're not gonna have me, you know. So I think that would have been a thing too in the woods with Daryl. So
yeah,
I'm glad they were separated.
I don't know what the outcome would be there, but yeah, I could just see them fighting it out or something.
Yeah, and it was smart to have Shane go, you know, separate from him, because Shane said he followed him, and Daryl's a great tracker, so it is good to be separated in those groups. But yeah, I thought it would have been a thing if they were together.
I was surprised to see Shane right after he died. He became a walker.
I know, and Randall did too.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, seeing Randall like that, too, and I think you guys were saying, or maybe thought in the moment, that he was already bit, and, like, okay, but then when you see Shane, like, immediately... Like,
back. Now, and then Daryl, when he observed him, he goes, oh, he broke his neck.
Mm-hmm.
So, he broke his neck, but that doesn't mean, okay, so he's already dead. Would a walker come to something that's already dead? No. And proof is in the pudding. Shane just became a walker when Rick was right there the whole time.
So what does that even mean?
It's in the water. Don't drink the farm water. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Again, just live in the moment. And so that was...
Did we miss something?
Yeah, it's quite
a
shock. Yeah. It's quite a shock, you know, and now that was such a creepy scene at the end when we're panning out away from Carl and his father, and you see all the walkers
in the masses. That's right. And there's like 50 head of cattle, they said, that was on the farm.
Yeah.
Thank God they boarded up the house. But Rick and Carl are just right there. They better book. Hopefully they'll just go right to, well, I don't know if they're going to go to Shane, because he's already a walker and he's gone. So I don't think they'll go and devour him.
You know, I had those questions too around this time, and but yeah, did you expect Shane to die? Did you think he was going to die?
Did I think he was going to die? I thought Daryl was going to come and arrow him. I thought he was going to come out of the woods, and I thought he was going to take care of it.
Okay. Yeah.
Because if he saw it, because they kept showing the silhouettes, you know, and you just keep seeing their silhouettes, and I said, Daryl's going to just come out and just go shoo. You know, once
like
Rick puts his gun
already,
down,
he realized track them or something.
Yeah, and just come to group up and, you know, just to meet up and say, okay, you know, this is what we found out. But if because they were far away, they were out in the field, so a whole, you know, you can see him from any angle, really. So that's what I thought. I thought Daryl was going to take care of business.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But
yeah, and Mom, did you think that they were going to talk it out and then go back to the farm together, or do you think, like, did you expect one to die?
I thought someone was going to die. I didn't know which one, but I was hoping it wasn't going to be Rick.
Yeah.
I mean, like Shane too, to a certain extent, but I was hoping Rick was going to be okay, but Shane got it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Did you think that Rick was going to die at one point, Kim?
I did. I thought if anybody, it's going to be Rick, but I think Rick he's so good with words, and he just made it real where, you know, they're going to find out. They're going to know they're going to know that I was unarmed and you got me, and he's trying to make it realistic. Like, they're both cops. You know, he's trying to make the scene, he's trying to lay it out to him. Like, this is murder. You're talking murder. And when he first said that, I thought he was talking about murder with Randall. But he was talking about himself. Okay, you're talking murder here. And he was just laying it right out. So I thought, if anything, Rick is going to get it, because there is no way Shane's going to get, like, okay, let's just hold arms and just go back to the farm and everything's
I know.
He's way too unhinged. So
Yeah, I was like, there's no way they can
there's
come
no
back
way.
from
And
that.
Rick had to do it in any circumstance. I mean, it was hands down. He had to do what he did.
Yeah.
Because it was him or it was either Shane or himself. So.
And do you guys think that Lori saying what she said solidified this problem, like this event in this episode? Or do you think with Rick trying to work it out with Shane in the past would have been fine anyways? Or do you think it would have, like, popped up even with Lori not saying anything? Do you think Shane would have still acted like this?
I think Lori solidified it. What she said to him really gave him hope, and his eyes just lit right up. Like, yeah, I agree, that baby could be mine, and it's
he
true.
Really perked up with that.
Yeah, he was very excited, and then when Carl came and talked to him in confidence, I think that gave him the boost of, I can be their family man. I can be the dad.
Yes,
These are my kids, and this is my wife. This is gonna be my wife, my woman.
Yeah.
That's what he
So-
thought. Yeah.
So you think the
I'd
same
say,
thing?
Yeah.
Now, I think at this point that Lori did push it forward where, this happened because of her. But I also think that Shane, because he was unstable and possessive of Lori and trying to protect her and Carl and the baby, that I think eventually would have happened anyways, no matter with Rick trying to have peace between them. But I think Lori did escalate it and made it happen faster, because of it. That and the whole Randall thing also had Shane going crazy too, because Rick was like taking the leadership role, and he's like, well, I said this and this is what's happening, there's no debate or whatever. And then here Shane's like, okay, yeah, that's how it is, like taunting him a little bit, but just like,
and it embarrasses him
role, kind of.
Because Lori's behind him at the truck, when Rick's telling him, this is what's going to happen.
And watching.
And Shane is like, and then he just sees Lori, and he's like, he's so embarrassed at that moment, he just feels so deflated as a man. He can't make a decision at all. And he was just like, I'm going to take, matters in my own hands. And he did. And he died because of it.
That's right.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about Shane's death? Relieved? Sad?
I'm glad that Randall's dead, but I'm glad if Shane was going to die, he didn't take anyone else down with him, and it was because Rick defended himself. It was because he was on the defense. So, if it was going to happen, this was perfect to me.
Yeah, it is. In a way, I'm sad, but I'm very relieved he did die. So I want Rick to be the one that's going to be living, not say, because where Shane was going about things.
Yeah.
I think the acting in this was just so incredible, and seeing Rick just hanging over his friend, like he had to kill him. He had no choice in that moment.
I know.
And to be that smart about it too, like he had to go up and acting like he's talking to him like he normally would do, but he knew at that point there was no return. So for him to kill his friend up close, to do it yourself, like I can't even imagine either way, but just a gunshot and then you have a knife, like I think a knife is worse because I think it's more personal.
Yes.
And it's like so up close, and it's just so tragic to see that and him just fall apart after doing that. Like, you made me do this to you, why? I can't believe, or whatever you were saying there, like, it was Shane's fault. Like, he led up to this point of his friend killing him because he was willing to do that too, because his reasoning was just unstable.
He was unreasonable. He was just completely unhinged. You just brought up a very good point that I want to bring up, but now it's not really going to work. But the knife, he was stabbed. They've been stabbing walkers with these knives and axes and all this.
Ooh. I wonder about that.
Right?
Yeah.
So previous walkers, maybe the blood went into Shane, but we can't say anything about Randall. Randall was,
that's right,
his neck was broken. So that's not gonna work. Oh well.
That was
I'll
a good
think
theory.
about
You
it.
never know. That was
I'll
a
think
good
about
theory,
it.
though.
We'll find
Maybe his
out.
hands.
He didn't wash your knives.
We'll
And
find out.
maybe
He had
his
walker
nails.
blood on. Walker guts on his hands.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'll think of
You never
something.
know.
I don't know.
No, it's good. I want to hear theories, so that's a good thing.
But
That's right.
that could be a thing.
So what do you think they're going to do now with these walkers now coming towards the farm?
I think they need a big net from the sky. They need a walker net or fog. Just spray them.
Hey, we have a spray fog over here. A fog spray.
Pesticide walkers.
Yeah,
Okay, put the cattle over
Oh, my
here.
God.
The walkers come over here.
Get back in their
What the
house.
hell are they gonna do?
And
There's a
get
lot.
of-
This is
I
gonna be
know,
bad. They gotta
I know.
book to the
What
house.
are they do? You're going to go in the house.
And they
a
just
lot of ammunition if they have it, hopefully. And start shooting.
Maybe Glenn can play his guitar, learn some guitar, and then
and
soothe
sue
them.
the
and-
savage
Oh,
beast
you
like
start dancing.
Yeah, sure.
yeah, it's a thriller.
That would
What
be
is
awesome.
that?
That's the whole next episode.
A mob.
Oh my God, yeah, my...
Woo!
Come on.
my God.
Yeah, so I was actually sad to see Shane go, but I knew there was no
so,
choice.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
knew
he
there.
was.
He's been losing it
way
for a
too
while
far
now.
now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be curious to see how everyone takes him when they go back home, and Andrea, how she's gonna take
Oh,
it.
that's right.
But she knows that they were having an affair. She knows what was going on prior to all this
And
too.
who
so-
knows, she might be pregnant too by him.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know.
that's
Hey,
true.
And
it happened.
talking about Carl too, we didn't really talk about him. Like, were you guys scared he was going to shoot his father?
No, because I saw what was happening, you know, with the walker behind him.
With Shane?
Which was
Shane
Shane
behind him,
Shane
yes.
Walker.
I mean,
That's right.
Shane Walker behind him. and I knew, I said, I bet you, at first I thought, geez, going to, because he had
I
tears in
know.
his eyes and all. I thought maybe he was going to shoot Rick because of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But then I said, I saw Shane behind him. I said, no, he's going to shoot Shane.
Yeah, what a shot.
And
Like,
I
that was so
originally thought
too,
it was
to
going to
having
be
practice.
Rick because what Shane said, you know, he's like my son, you know, he comes to me, you know, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought Carl really did feel like that, but no. And
No,
I was
no,
like,
he's
no,
like
he
that,
loves
no.
Rick. He would never kill his father because, you know, he doesn't know the circumstance, what happened.
Mm-hmm. I mean, how sad he's coming up and he just sees his father, like
father
kneeling over his dead friend.
Yeah,
His
that's
dead-
what's, yeah.
Like second father in a
second
way,
uncle,
you
yeah.
know, or however
Yeah.
he saw him. But, you know, they were really close for
Yeah,
quite some
right,
time.
Right.
And it was devastating.
Oh,
So it was a
definitely.
scary scene, and seeing Shane like come back as a walker, like that's a shock, like
Yeah,
a first
of
time
course,
seeing
yeah.
that. So
Wow.
like I don't remember exactly how I felt there, but it did look like Carl was upset where he might shoot Rick, but I kind of thought too like he's gonna shoot Shane. But what a shot too, because he really hasn't had any practice with a gun.
Big
right? So
time.
to
He's
get
a
that
natural.
Wow.
one shot next to his father's head and got a
Yeah,
perfect
yeah.
shot right
In
into
the dark.
That's right,
in the
right.
dark. So
With big hat
very I
on.
applaud.
Wow.
Very good,
Yeah.
Carl.
Good kid.
That was amazing.
You're on the
Wow.
team.
And how sad is that too? Like, what a way to grow up. I mean, his father's telling him that your mother's gonna die one day. I'm gonna die. It's a different
Oh,
world now.
yeah.
Like, you gotta
I
be brutal and
know.
just
And
tell
he's
him
just
that
like-
and be like, you gotta try to survive as best. You know, we have to survive as much as we can and live our lives. And
Yeah.
you know, to
Wow,
hear
yeah.
that, I
That's
think he
great.
needed to hear that because not only did he like point a gun kind of towards his father to save him, but he shot a loved one. He shot
Yeah,
his
he
friend.
did.
Mm-hmm.
So
It,
know,
it
that-
is.
that
It's
doesn't
huge.
work,
yeah.
And I think it really made him feel good in the hayloft when, you know, he gave him the gun and he was like, you know, it is a different world. You're not going
Sure
to, you're
is,
not
yeah.
going to grow up like I did. I wish you could, but you can't. And I
Yeah.
think that gave him a boost of confidence. You know, he was looking outside and looking from the second floor, looking out at the perimeter. He was on it. He really wants to help out.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And Carl, I think he's ready. He
and I think
definitely
that was
is
good he
ready.
had
Definitely,
a
yeah.
gun because if he didn't in that moment, Rick would have been distracted talking to Carl, and then Shane's
You are
obviously would have
absolutely
came up
right.
behind
Yeah.
It
him.
is good that he had
Yeah.
the gun.
So we want
Very
to
good.
survive as long as we can, and you know I think that was a good conversation to have.
Yeah,
that-
thank God he
that
did
had
give him the
too.
gun. You're right.
Right.
So-
Wow.
Very good,
Oh,
pivotal
sure.
episode. Honestly, I mean,
Sure.
here main character just got. I mean, another one. We just lost
Yes,
Dale.
we just
That's
lost
right,
Dale
just
last
Dale, yeah.
episode. Now it's Shane.
Wow.
But now I have a huge question. When someone dies, no matter how, that you love, whatever, anyone in this group, do you have to shoot them in the head because they're going to instantly become a walker.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Oh, I'm sorry, you died of a heart attack. Let me shoot you.
I know. I love you. Sorry.
You're
Yeah.
going to come back any minute now, so I got to get you.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
yeah.
It's not only are you
Like,
losing someone in a
oh,
natural
you gotta
way
do it
too.
again?
Like
That's
nothing's
right,
peaceful
yeah.
anymore.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I like to know how this is happening. Like, it's evolving so quickly.
Yeah, it is now.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Crazy, huh? I feel like T-Dog right now. Just how he's like resting on that door.
He's so
I
cool.
don't
He
like
was
that.
so
I
funny.
thought
He just does whatever, and, you know, he's
Because
just so easygoing
Yes,
and
he
just
is,
goes
yeah.
with the flow and, you know, bringing all this stuff in the house. Okay, where are you going to go? If no one goes in there, I'm going in there.
That's right.
Not bedroom.
Yeah, right.
I talked about the bedroom.
I know, and I'm happy they worked it out with the house. You know.
Oh,
They're
that's
talking
so
about, like, her just, like,
wonderful.
take the
Now they're all
backstory.
yeah, they're all
That was
working
worked out.
together, and you know they're going to make provisions for downstairs in the basement if they have to do
nice.
that.
Yeah.
Seems like they're probably going to do that sooner than later. Have to
Yeah.
go down there, but it's
Yeah.
only going to be good for a couple of days with food down there. But
Oh boy.
they're working together, and that's
Mhm.
good. They have to.
Go team.
There's so many walkers coming.
I know. What do you do? Get your Glenn out. Get your Glenn out. Get your guitar out, Glenn.
Come on, Glenn.
Let's do
I love Glenn too.
Let's do
I
a
love.
jig.
I have to say, Glenn was so cute when Maggie said, "Oh, you can put your stuff in my room." He gets like,
No,
"Not
your
with
father."
Yeah.
Now with your
He's
father
such a
in the
good
same
boy.
room. Yeah, I know.
So
It's like,
respectful.
aw.
That's so cute.
And learning stuff from Dale too.
I
And
know.
that sad moment.
Yes,
I know.
Like they're
And he-
both like him and Andrea were having
And
that
Andrea
moment.
was great, and Andrea, you know, she understood it, you know, because she was just as close to him, and
That's right.
you know, she gave him, you know, a talk where, you know, he loved us all in his own way. Yes, in that moment he was, you know, upset with you, but you know, it's not, that wasn't Dale the whole time with you. Don't feel
Yeah.
bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he
That's
got
right.
it going.
She did.
Yeah.
She handled it really well.
That's
I think
right.
she's
She
already
did.
through. Like she's toughened up a lot. Like she really cared for Dale, but
Yes.
she unfortunately expects to lose people, and she's staying strong about it. You know,
That's
so
good,
Yeah,
so her
she's
and Glenn
getting
had a good moment.
she's getting stronger, and
Wow.
she's helping others that are going through it.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Whew, so what an episode, guys!
Whoa, well, I'll tell you.
You know, Shane. Bad things happen, and we truly see the savagery that comes out of this world. You could be a
Yes.
good person, but you know, it can really mess you up mentally.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's
For
already
sure.
bad enough to have, you know, this this affair and, you know, all this going on, and then to have this apocalypse on top of it.
Wow.
I mean, it's
That's
too
wrong.
much to handle sometimes.
That's right.
I can't even imagine. Like I keep thinking on how like comfortable we are just being in a house. We have provisions. We have everything we need, and
Yeah, we don't have to look
you
out
know,
for
you have to look
walkers.
out the window for walkers
Maybe a
around.
coyote every
or
once in a
herd or
while, but-
something. So insane. So guys, thank you so
boy.
much for watching. You can check out our links below if you're watching on YouTube if you want to see the next episode already. And we'll see you very soon as always. Bye guys.
Bye.